The dedication of the Basilica of St. Mary Major, August 5th. This reflection is prepared by Father Aube Francis, pastor at St. Jude Church, Grand Rapids, Michigan, USA. According to his expressed wish, the late Pope Francis is buried in the Basilica of St. Mary Major, a place he loved deeply and visited before and after every apostolic journey to entrust his missions to the Blessed Virgin. I had the privilege of visiting this holy basilica in February 2025 together with 43 parishioners and friends from Grand Rapids, Michigan. The dedication of the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome commemorates one of the most ancient and beloved Marian churches in Christendom. Also known as Santa Maria Maggiore, it is the largest church in the world dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary and holds a special place in history for its beauty, antiquity, and doctrinal significance. Origin and history. According to pious tradition, in the 4th century during the pontificate of Pope Liberius 352 to 366, a wealthy and childless Roman couple prayed to the Blessed Virgin Mary, asking how they might use their wealth in her honor. On the night of August 4th to 5th, both the couple and Pope Liberius had a dream in which Our Lady asked for a church to be built on the Esquiline Hill and that a miraculous snowfall would mark the exact location. Despite it being summer in Rome, snow was indeed found on the morning of August 5th, 358, on the hill's summit. Seeing this as a divine sign, Pope Liberius traced the outline of the future church in the snow, and the couple financed its construction. This event is popularly known as Our Lady of the Snows, and the feast is sometimes called Our Lady of the Snow in memory of this miracle. Development of the basilica. Although the original structure built by Pope Liberius was modest, it set the stage for what would become a magnificent basilica. After the Council of Ephesus in 431, which proclaimed Mary as Theotokos, God-bearer, Mother of God, Pope Sixtus III 432 to 440 began construction of a larger basilica dedicated explicitly to Mary as Mother of God to honor the Council's declaration. This church, largely preserved in its ancient structure, is what we now know as St. Mary Major. Throughout centuries, the basilica has undergone restorations and embellishments by various popes. Pope Sixtus V 1585 to 1590 added a magnificent Marian column in front of the basilica. Crowned with a bronze statue of the Virgin and Child, Pope Benedict XIV 1740 to 1758 commissioned its splendid ceiling, reportedly gilded with the first gold brought from the New World by Christopher Columbus and presented to the Pope by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain. The basilica's bell tower campanile, the tallest in Rome standing at 75 meters, was added in the 14th century. Architectural and artistic significance. St. Mary Major harmoniously blends classical Roman and Christian basilica design. Its treasures include 5th-century mosaics depicting scenes from the Old Testament and the early life of Christ and the Virgin Mary, the famous triumphal arch mosaics that honor Mary's divine maternity, the Borghese Chapel or Pauline Chapel, which houses the revered icon Salus Populi Romani, protectress of the Roman people, believed to have been painted by St. Luke, the Crypt of the Nativity, which contains relics of the Holy Crib Sacrocula. Spiritual importance. The basilica serves as one of the 4 major papal basilicas in Rome along with St. Peter's, St. John Lateran, and St. Paul outside the walls. It is unique in being the only major basilica retaining its original structure from the early Christian era. Over the centuries, it has been a center of Marian devotion and doctrinal affirmation, especially of Mary as Mother of God, a truth solemnly upheld at the Council of Ephesus. Traditionally, on August 5th each year, white rose petals are gently dropped during Mass from the ceiling to commemorate the miraculous snowfall which signaled the basilica's founding. Conclusion. The dedication of the Basilica of St. Mary Major is more than a commemoration of a beautiful church. It celebrates divine intervention in history, the enduring maternal care of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and the Church's proclamation of her as Mother of God. It invites the faithful to deepen their Marian devotion and to find in Mary a sure guide to Christ, her Son. Spiritual reflection. St. Mary Major stands as a living witness to God's tenderness manifested in the maternal heart of Mary. Its dedication reminds us that Mary always leads us to Jesus, protecting, interceding, and teaching us to welcome the Word of God into our lives as she did at Nazareth and Bethlehem. Just as snow miraculously covered Rome to signify Mary's presence, her motherly mantle still covers God's people today.